Hi there. It's January 19th and time for Proverbs 19. Jump over here, deep in the Proverbs again. Some of the stuff we've heard before. He likes to reiterate things that are important. Like this one. Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than one who is crooked in speech and is a fool. Some of those, right? It's always better to have integrity, no matter how much money you have. 2, desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way. Right? Anyone jump into something and do it without knowing what you're doing? A lot of people do, and they miss, right? 3, when a man's folly brings his way to ruin, his foolishness, right? His heart rages against the Lord, right? How many people blame God for stuff that they did, right? Most of the stuff came from not following him to begin with, right? But they blame God. This is all your fault, right? Happens. 4, wealth brings many new friends, but a poor man is deserted by his friend. They're not friends, right? You got friends just because you're wealthy, you have lots of people hanging around. Okay? It doesn't. A lot of people almost worship money, okay? People who have money, suddenly they have tons of respect and stuff just because they have lots of money, when that's not always the case, okay? But when you're poor, you find out who your real friends are. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will not escape. These people will all be caught at some point, right? Even if it's in the Lord's judgment, right? They will answer for that. 6, many seek the favor of a generous man, and everyone is a friend to one who gives gifts. Right? See what we were talking about up there? Or of a noble, right? Wealth brings many new friends. Right? Right? That kind of goes all together, doesn't it? All the poor man's brothers hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? Right? If you're poor, people don't want to hang around you, It's just not always the case, but most of the time, that's true. Yeah. And it continues. Let's read this all together. All the poor man's brothers hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursues them with words, but does not have them. Words can be prayers, right? Hebrew meaning of the sentence is uncertain. What does it say over here? All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more will his friends depart from him? Though he be insistent with words, yet they will not. Have integrity, right? God will never leave you. Whoever gets sense loves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will discover good. Right? You get sense, right? Common sense is not so common, but, right? Doing this stuff, getting the wisdom and knowledge, you love your own soul, and you will discover good, right? I like that. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will perish. See, he's reiterating that again. Okay, a false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will not escape. In 5, all right, will die or perish. In 9, same thing. 10, it is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury, much less for a slave to rule over a princess. Right? You ever see these people that win the lottery and they buy all this big fancy stuff, right? Just to impress people and make themselves feel better. And you can tell they just don't fit there, okay? And they lose it all eventually because they don't belong there. 11, good sense makes one slow to anger. And it is his glory to overlook an offense. Yeah, that's important. Good sense makes one slow to anger. It says in James, we've been going on this over and over again. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. And it is to your glory to overlook an offense. Just let it go, okay? Just let it go. 12, a king's wrath is like the growling of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. Okay? We don't have a king except for Jesus. But when a king rules everything, you must keep the king happy, or bad things can happen, right? 13, a foolish son is a ruin to his father, and a wife's quarreling is a continual dripping of rain. Yeah. Happens, I guess. Huh? 14, house and wealth are inherited from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. You got that? You pray for the Lord to bring you a wife, not a girlfriend, not a lover, a wife. We talked about that yesterday. Right? 15, slothfulness casts into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. Right? Laziness. 16, whoever keeps the commandment keeps his life. He who despises his ways, that's God's ways, will die. Right. 17, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. Right? Over and over. It says this all over the Bible. Give to the poor, you're giving to God, and God will pay you back with interest every single time. Right? 18 is important. Discipline your son, for there is hope. Do not set your heart on putting him to death. Okay? If you don't discipline your children when they're young, if you don't teach them the right ways, you're putting them to death, okay? Because they will not learn this stuff later. Everything is ingrained in them by the time they're 8 years old. 19, a man of great wealth will pay the penalty if you deliver him wrath, not wealth, wrath, okay? Man of great wrath. If you deliver him, you'll only have to do it again, right? You have some people that are always, always angry. You can never make them happy. If you save them, you're just going to have to do it again. 20, listen to advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. Right? Listen to people if they're trying to tell you something. 21, many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. Right? Make all the plans you want. God will have his way. Okay? 22, what is desired in a man is steadfast love, and a poor man is better than a liar. Right? Poor man is better than a liar. 23, the fear of the Lord leads to life, and whoever has it rests satisfied. He will not be visited by harm. Right? Fear of the Lord, following the Lord, wanting to please the Lord, right? Following his rules to make him happy and proud of you. That's fear of the Lord. 24, the sluggard buries his hand in the dish and will not even bring it back to his mouth. Right. He says this over and over again too. Hoarders are like this, okay? Lazy people that just get stuff, and they never use it. They just get it and store it, and they just want to have it. Yeah? That's why that's highlighted. Happens a lot. 25, strike a scoffer, and the simple will learn prudence. Reprove a man of understanding, and he will gain knowledge. Right. There's a belief going on. If there's a large group of protesters, right? If you take one of them down and arrest them, that's why they arrest some of the protesters, because other people will see it and learn prudence. And, well, I'm going to get out of here before I get arrested, right? That's what that means, right? Reprove a man of understanding, and he will gain knowledge. Okay, wise people will always listen to advice. They know they have discernment, and they can tell good advice from bad advice, but they'll listen, okay? And gain knowledge. 26, he who does violence to his father and chases away his mother is a son who brings shame and reproach. Right? Honor your parents. That's one of the big 10, right? Honor your father and mother. Right? And one of the only commandments that has a caveat, okay? Honor your father and mother, that your life may be long and good, something like that. Okay, 27. Cease to hear instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. Right? Never stop learning, okay? Never stop learning. 28. A worthless witness mocks at justice, and the mouth of the wicked devours iniquity. That's right. A lot of that going on, huh? 29. Condemnation is ready for scoffers, and a beating for the backs of fools. Okay? It happens. Sooner or later, it will happen. So, there you go. That's Proverbs 19. We'll go over the highlights here. These were highlighted from last time, but... And this one probably should be highlighted too, just because. Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity or his uprightness than one who is crooked in speech and is a fool, right? Always have integrity. Always be upright, right? 3 is highlighted. When a man's folly brings his way to ruin, his heart rages against the Lord, right? You blame God for everything, right? God, why did you let this happen to me? Well, you weren't listening to me to begin with. So I told you not to go there. And sometimes it's something that's completely out of our control, okay? 4, wealth brings many new friends, but a poor man is deserted by his friend. Right? True. That's true. You want somebody who gets poor and everybody leaves. Everybody leaves. Many seek the favor of a generous man, and everyone is a friend to a man who gives gifts, right? Like up here, wealth brings many new friends. And you don't have to be rich to be generous, okay? Some people give to the poor, even though they are poor themselves, okay? There's a note here. Be noble, right? And if you find somebody who's always giving to the poor, when they walk down the streets of where the homeless people are, they'll all gather around him, okay? They want to be his friend. Okay. Whoever gets sense loves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will discover good. Keep these things, right? Understanding is knowing why something is the way it is, okay? Not just knowing it, but knowing why. I use a car adage a lot. You can drive a car and operate a car, but do you know how it works? Do you understand the workings of your car? Most people don't. But you can, and once you learn it, you won't forget it. I learned it, in the 60s and 70s, a long time ago, 50 years ago or better. And you don't forget the basic theology of how a car works, okay? The air comes in, mixes with the gas, the spark sets off a flame, causes an explosion, pushes the piston down, which turns your crankshaft, which turns your wheels, okay? In that order. You understand stuff, okay? He who keeps understanding will discover good. 10. It is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury, much less for a slave to rule over princes. Right. Pleasure is not comely for a fool. The free use of things are not to be permitted to him that cannot use them aright. Right. Right. Got that. 11's highlighted. Good sense makes one slow to anger, and it is his glory to overlook an offense. All right. Just let it go, okay? Just let it go. If you're offended, just let it go. Why? Nobody else cares, okay? Nobody cares if you're offended. Just let it go. Okay? Screaming and yelling and typing long narratives on the internet is not going to change anything. Okay? 17th highlighted. Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. Right? He says this over and over and over again. If you give to the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and the Lord will pay you back. It has never not happened that way. Okay? 18, discipline your son, for there is hope. Do not set your heart on putting him to death. Okay? There's lots of verses in Proverbs about disciplining your kids, sparing the rod, and it's the same as killing your child. We have to learn these things when they're young. Okay? Because if they get away with them when they're young, they will try to get away with them when they're old, and that's when they will get hurt. 19, a man of great wrath will pay the penalty, for if you deliver him, you will only have to do it again. A man of much anger shall suffer punishment, and though thou deliver him, yet will his anger come again. There's a note over here. Though for a time he give place to counsel, yet soon he will give place to his raging affections. Right. Somebody that's always angry, sometimes you have to get away from them for your own sanity, right? Okay, 21 is highlighted. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand, right? God will have his way. Make all the plans you want, right? God will have his way. Right? It's easier just to follow God in the first place, right? That's the fear of the Lord leads to life. And whoever has it rests satisfied. He will not be visited by harm. Right? And I read this again. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. Right? The fear of the Lord leads to life. At 24, sluggard buries his hand in the dish and will not even bring it back to his mouth. Now, they made it very easy now to be lazy and to have somebody else take care of you. All you need is an excuse. Okay, this hurts or that hurts, or I can't do this or I can't do that. Right? And they collect things and they get so lazy that they don't even feed themselves. Right. And 27 is highlighted. Cease to hear instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. Okay? Never stop learning. Okay? Never stop learning. I'm 65 and I'm still studying. I'm still learning. Right? And I will not stop learning. Okay? Things go well for you when you stay in the Word and keep learning and follow the Lord and fear the Lord. Right? So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 19. We can look and see what we're doing in our New Testament today. Matthew 13, half of Matthew 13. Okay? And his parables are beginning today. So we'll start with Jesus and his parables, and we will explain each one. Okay? He told them to purposely to confuse people, right? So that you would seek knowledge. Okay? So there you go. Have a good day, right? Lots of big stuff happening today and tomorrow, right? And pray that everything goes without a hitch. Okay, there are lots of evil people out there that want to do horrible things, and we need to pray that people will be protected from those kind of people. All right. So until later, we'll do it again. See ya.